Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I'm Meenuti Chatterjee with the Midday News. The headlines. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for finalizing comprehensive convention on international terrorism. Schedule for Jammu and Kashmir Panchayat elections announced. Polling to be held in 9 phases from the 17th of November. ISRO to launch 2 British satellites on board PSLV C-42 from Sriharikota this evening. Paryatan Parv begins across the country today to highlight various aspects of tourism. And in sports, Sakshi Malik to wrestle for gold medal at Midday International Tournament in Belarus today. Mountaineers Satyarup Siddhant and Mousumi Katua climbed Asia's highest volcanic peak, Mount Damavand in Iran. India has called for expediting the finalization of the draft Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism, CCIT, to fight the scourge of terrorism. Addressing the National Assembly of Serbia in Belgrade last night, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said artificial distinction created between good and bad terrorism is the most serious threat in today's world, which can be defeated by organized international action. Mr. Naidu said both India and Serbia agree that terrorism is one of the foremost threats to international peace and security.
Our two countries also agree that terrorism is one of the foremost threats to the international peace and security. There is an urgent need to strengthen the global counter-terrorism legal framework to combat this scourge by expediting finalization of a comprehensive convention on international terrorism, CCIT, under UN umbrella.
Mr. Naidu also said Serbia shares India's views on United Nations Security Council reforms. He also expressed happiness for Serbia's support to India's membership to the Nuclear Suppliers Group. The Vice President reached Belgrade on Friday on the first leg of his 3-nation tour to Serbia, Malta and Romania. During his stay in Serbia, Mr. Naidu met the top leaders of the country, including President Aleksandar Vučić. Our correspondent covering the Vice President's visit has filed this report.
The welcome Vice President received here from political leadership and the people shows their high interest and affection for India. Vice President's meeting with top leadership here clearly shows the interest rapport that exists between the two countries. The Vice President's address at National Assembly of Serbia was received with great enthusiasm and he was given a standing ovation. Jitendra Trivedi, EIR News, Belgrade, Serbia.
From Belgrade, Mr. Naidu will reach Malta today, where he will meet the country's leadership and discuss issues of mutual interest. On the final leg, the Vice President will reach Romania on Tuesday. In Jammu and Kashmir, the State Election Commission today announced the schedule for the Panchayat elections. Chief Electoral Officer Charlene Kabra said in Srinagar that the elections will be held in 9 phases on November 17th, 20th, 24th, 27th, 29th and December 1st, 4th, 8th and 11th. The CEO said the elections to around 4,500 Panchayat halqas in over 35,000 Panchayat constituencies will have over 58 lakh electors as per the draft rule. He said the final roll will be completed by the end of this month. The CEO said ballot boxes would be used during the polls and postal ballot will be provided to the Kashmiri migrant voters at all places within and outside the state. With the announcement of the schedule, the Model Code of Conduct has come into force with immediate effect. The last elections to the Panchayats were held in 2011 after a gap of 10 years through secret ballot. Yesterday, the State Election Commission announced to hold municipal bodies elections next month in 4 phases. 2 main political parties, National Conference and People's Democratic Party, have announced to stay away from the municipal and panchayat polls. BJP has expressed willingness to participate in the elections and criticized the boycott decision of NC and PDP. BSF Director General K.K. Sharma has said that Border Security Force is planning to install a high-tech surveillance system covering a total length of about 2,000 kilometers along Pakistan and Bangladesh borders. Talking to reporters in Indore, PSF DG said pilot project of this system is being implemented in Jammu sector. He said BSF will expand the plan of monitoring the border using cutting-edge technologies in these areas in a time-bound manner. Mr. Sharma said in the pilot stage, this special security mechanism is being set up in 2 blocks of 5.5 kilometers each in Jammu sector, and Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate it tomorrow. In Patna, JDU State Executive Committee meeting is underway under the chairmanship of Party President Nitish Kumar. The meeting assumes significance as it is being held few months before the Lok Sabha polls and at a time when the party is engaged in seat-sharing talks with the BJP. Bihar has 40 Lok Sabha seats and the JDU won just 2 seats in the 2014 general elections. Meanwhile, election strategist Prashant Kishore today joined the JDU in the presence of party president Nitish Kumar. The Assam police has arrested 4 people from various places in the state for their alleged link with the arrested Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist Qamar Uj-Zama. Official sources said all of them helped the terrorist even after knowing that he had joined the terrorist outfit. Police picked up another person last night for questioning. Police have conducted search operation at multiple places and reportedly recovered some documents. Former Union Minister Satyaprakash Malviya passed away at a hospital in Delhi this morning. He was 84 and suffering from prostate cancer. Born at Malviya Nagar in Allahabad, the former Union Minister began his political career as a member of Praja Socialist Party. He later joined the Congress. He was jailed for 18 months during the emergency. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, will launch 2 British satellites on board Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV C-42 from Sriharikota today. The launch is scheduled at 10:08 p.m. from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre. PSLV C-42 will carry 2 Earth-observing satellites, Nova SAR and S-14 of Surrey Satellite Technology Limited, UK. The mission is a commercial arrangement between the British company and the Antrix Corporation Limited, which is the commercial wing of ISRO. Our correspondent reports that the 33-hour countdown for the launch, which began at 1:08 p.m. yesterday, is progressing smoothly.
In about 18 minutes after the launch, the rocket will spew out the Nova SAR and S-14 satellites into the destined orbit. Both the satellites from the UK have a lift-off weight of 445 kilograms, and the S-14 will be used for surveying resources, environment monitoring and disaster monitoring purposes. The S-band synthetic aperture radar will have an automatic identification receiver. It will be applied for forestry mapping, land use and ice cover monitoring, ship detection and maritime monitoring, and flood and disaster monitoring. With joy from Chennai, Tripti Srivastav, AIR News.
Paryatan Parv, the festival of tourism, will begin across the country from today. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate the event at the Rajpath Lawns in New Delhi. The idea behind the festival is to highlight the benefits of tourism, showcasing the cultural diversity of the country and reinforcing the principle of tourism for all. More from our correspondent.
Paryatan Parv, which begins at the Rajpath in Delhi, will continue till 27th of this month. 18 theme-based pavilions have been set up by the states. It will have 3 main components: Dekho Apna Desh, tourism for all, and tourism and governance. More than 3,000 events will be organized in collaboration with other central ministries and states during the festival. Craft Bazaar, food court, classical dance music, handicrafts and handlooms and cuisines from all the states will be the main highlights of the Paryatan Parv. With Dipendra Kumar, this is Ritu Srivastav, AIR News, Delhi.
Swachhata Gram Sabhas are being organized in villages across the country today as part of the fortnight Swachhata Hi Seva movement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the movement through video conferencing yesterday. The agenda of the Gram Sabhas is to monitor the status of cleanliness in their Gram Panchayats and make an action plan for the future. The rural sanitation coverage has reached over 92% from 39% in October 2014 when Swachh Bharat mission was launched. 19 states and union territories have been declared open defecation free so far. The Bihar government has directed police officials to destroy all seized liquor stored in different police stations and other godowns by the 30th of this month. They have also been directed to ensure that in future any consignment of illegal liquor recovered during raids across the state should be destroyed within 15 days of seizure. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has asked officials, especially district magistrates and SPs, to hold meetings fortnightly and review the implementation of liquor ban in their respective districts. He instructed officials to intensify the campaign to mark the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi on the 2nd of October. The central government's flagship irrigation scheme, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, is bringing a positive change in the lives of farmers in Tamil Nadu. The scheme is ensuring access to water to every farm in the state and improving water use efficiency in order to improve crop yield, and thus giving a boost to the farmer's income. Here is a ground report from our Chennai correspondent.
Agriculture is one of the main sources of occupation in modern India. Agro-based industries, value-added agro products are ruling the roost all over the world. In order to boost agriculture-based activity and increase production, irrigation is a vital component. Prime Minister's Krishi Sinchai Yojana, the micro-irrigation project, has benefited lakhs of farmers throughout the country. Illusami of Pollachi, a coconut farmer, has said that he was benefited by the scheme.
I am a coconut farmer and I own 5 acres of land. Micro irrigation project of the government has benefited me a lot. The irrigation project cost me 56,000 rupees. I was given over 35,000 rupees subsidy. I had to pay only 18,000 rupees for growing coconut.
The government has made an additional allocation of almost 1,000 crore rupees for extending and strengthening irrigation facilities and improving groundwater management in rural areas. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
In international news, Typhoon Mangkhut is heading towards densely populated Hong Kong and southern China after ravaging across the northern Philippines with ferocious winds and heavy rain. The strongest storm so far this year sliced across the northern tip of Luzon Island yesterday, killing at least 28 people in landslides and collapsed houses. More than 5 million people were in the path of the typhoon, equivalent to a Category 5 Atlantic hurricane when it hit the Philippines. Motaz Musa Abdullah has become Sudan's new Prime Minister. A 21-member cabinet was sworn in at the presidential palace in Khartoum yesterday. Musa Abdullah is also holding the finance portfolio in a bid to revive the country's ailing economy. And now news from the world of sports.
Olympic bronze medalist Sakshi Malik will wrestle for the gold medal at the Midday International Tournament in Minsk, Belarus today. She will take on Hungary's Mariana Sastin in the 62 kg final. Another Indian grappler, Pooja Dhanda, will have a chance to claim a bronze in the 57 kg category when she takes on American Becca Leathers in the repechage round. Onto boxing, 5-time world champion MC Maricom clinched her third gold of the year yesterday in the 48 kg category at the Silesian Open Tournament for women in Gliwice, Poland. Maricom was up against Kazakhstan's Egrim Kasanieva and she prevailed 5-0 with a fine tactical performance. In Asia Cup cricket, Pakistan will play Hong Kong in a group match in Dubai today. All India Radio will broadcast live commentary on the ODI game from 4:30 p.m. onwards. And mountaineers Satyarup Siddhanta and Mosmi Khatwa have created history by climbing Asia's highest volcanic peak, Mount Damavand in Iran. At a height of 5,609 meters, Mount Damavand is a potentially active volcano. The expedition team comprised of 3 members, Siddhanta, Mosmi and Bhaswati Chatterjee. Bhaswati decided to stay back after advancing till 4,600 meters. Sabi Hassan Khan, AIR News.
Before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for finalizing comprehensive convention on international terrorism. Schedule for Jammu and Kashmir Panchayat elections announced. Polling to be held in 9 phases from 17th of November. ISRO to launch 2 British satellites on board PSLV C-42 from Sriharikota this evening. Paryatan Parv begins across the country today to highlight various aspects of tourism. And in sports, Sakshi Malik to wrestle for gold medal at Midday International Tournament in Belarus today. Mountaineers Satyarup Siddhant and Mosmi Khatwa climb Asia's highest volcanic peak, Mount Damavand, in Iran. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And with that, we end the Midday News.